Welcome to Gathers 7, where art comes to life. So today we are here at MagicCon Barcelona, and I'm here with the legendary Magali.
Hey, it's me! Thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
We are so happy to have you here. And I'm so proud to say that she is the lead concept artist for all the statues that have been launched by Magic the Gathering recently. So today I'm going to ask Magali some questions to find out what's going on behind her brilliant and creative mind, and also to find out a little bit more about her. So Magali, at MagicCon Barcelona this year, we have launched Jace Beleren 1/4 scale statue. Now, it is just a prototype, but it's your first time seeing it, right? And how do you feel watching your illustration come to life?
Well, it's being able to design a statue is really something unique for an illustrator, because we are used to seeing our art 2D, and it's kind of coming to life that way. And also it's an honor for me, because Jace is such a legendary character.
Yes.
I've always loved, and I've loved this character even before I started working for Magic. So I was so happy to be able to be working on that with you guys.
Yeah. Jace actually comes with two interchangeable sculpts. So Magali, would you like to share with our fans, like, what's your inspiration for Jace?
First of all, the pose you can see here is really inspired by the card of what's the name already of that card?
Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Yeah, the Mind Sculptor, because in general I know the illustrations better than I know the names, but yeah, it's really the Jace's iconic pose, and so yeah, I thought it was a good idea to deliver this version to the players, because they would immediately recognize this legendary card.
Definitely. It really, put my heart strings as well, because like it's a card that I play so often. So what are some of the challenges you face when you are designing this such an iconic fan favorite character?
Well, first of all, you have to choose a pose or an attitude that would be really evocative of the character as the players know him. So you have to really know the character and to feel what's his, his how he is at his best and the most recognizable. So Jace, for me, and I guess for most players, because he's blue, is a really spiritual character rather than a purely actiony one. So that's why I chose to have him as the great spirit mage he is. So hence the poses I chose for the statue.
Yeah, it really is amazing. And one thing that I really like about this pose is that it is iconic. It is the iconic card, Jace the Mind Sculptor, but also it lights up. So it really brings to life
yeah. And I think it's really important for that character, because his magic is all about, blue glowing effects. And I think it's really, because I didn't expect that when I worked on the statue. I didn't expect there would be a light up at first. It was kind of a surprise in the way. And it was really, I thought it was perfect. I mean, everything was coming together. I mean, the pose and the effect and all, it was really great.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of like a little different from the previous two statues, Liliana Vess and Chandra Nala. Both are amazing. Both have received overwhelming compliments from our fans. And I think when they saw that Jace was able to light up this time, they were just really taken aback.
Yeah. I understand that.
Yeah. And I really love the hedron that you put in on the base as well. So that's a really great aspect of the statue.
Yeah, because also it's a really iconic environment.
Yeah.
And whenever you are designing a statue, the character himself is one thing, but you want to create an immersive experience for whoever is going to own the statue. And I think that, placing the character in a really iconic environment just puts everything together.
Exactly. I love the hedron so much. I'm so glad that you chose this as the environment for this statue. Yeah. And while we have like overwhelming compliments for Jace, what our fans do not know is that next week at Gen Con, we are launching a brand new 1/4 scale statue from the Dungeons and Dragons world. And he's a character that is well sought after. Many people have been asking about him. He's handsome, he's charismatic, and his name is Drizzt Do'Urden. Yay! he's being designed by Magali as well.
Yay! I couldn't
Yay.
help it. You know, I started with Jace and couldn't stop now. So yeah, that's really exciting because you know, I mean, Jace is legendary and Drizzt is just as legendary in D&D. And as you said, he's such an interesting and charismatic character. So it was a great opportunity for me to be working again on Drizzt because I've been able through Magic the Gathering and also because I'm also working for D&D, I had many occasions to paint him, to represent him 2D, and this time the 3D is coming together.
Yeah. So you haven't seen the prototype face to face yet.
Not in real life.
Yeah, but we have shown Magali some of the photo shoot photos.
Yeah.
And so how do you feel about that? Like, did it meet your expectation?
Yes, it was because you know, again, I really tried a really maybe this time unexpected approach for Drizzt because you know, as he's a warrior, an elf, and really agile and all, you would expect him to have him, you know, maybe running or something like that. But again, in my mind, Drizzt is slightly different because aside from being a mighty warrior, for me, that's really a character with such an interesting background. And that's really what I wanted to show this time, you know, with that character. So I wanted him to look like regal, handsome, of course, elegant, but you can still feel with his pose that, you know, you don't want to mess up with him, that he can be really dangerous. He can be even lethal, I think. So that's, you know, all these aspects together that really led my thinking for, you know, building this concept.
Yeah, I really like how Drizzt look. That it really speaks to us about who he is. You know, he's more than just a warrior. He's a very strong character. He's in the lore. He has such a rich story, and I think many of our fans we have seen him through. You know, the different changes that he has made across the years, and I hope that this statue does bring out the essence of Drizzt, which I think you very wonderfully actually brought it out.
Well, you know, in my work, for example, for Magic or even D&D, my main point of focus is to show the character's personality. You know, I'm really, you know, it's a really serious matter for me to paint characters who will look really alive and believable. And for me, this is asking something beyond pure action or looking just badass or anything like that. So, you know, maybe I have a bit more, how can I say that, mute approach compared to other fantasy illustrators. But I think, you know, it's giving a different angle that the players or the collectors seem to like. So let's try that.
Yeah. I mean, for us at Gatherers Tavern, we feel that responsibility to produce an amazing like sculpture for all the Drizzt fans out there. And I'm not sure, Magali, when you were designing this, did you feel that pressure as well?
Yes. It's I mean, it cannot be avoided because you know it's not just any character.
Exactly.
I mean, you owe the author respect to R.A. Salvatore. You really don't want to miss the, you know, to miss the opportunity to do justice to his masterpiece. So yeah, and also you cannot forget the fans. You know, the fans are waiting for whatever is gonna come out from their favorite books and favorite characters and all. So of course I keep thinking about that. I always keep that in mind. So I'm really trying to do my best to do honor to all that.
Yeah, and I think you really did such an amazing job. Yeah. So one question I have to ask, like when you were designing Drizzt, like were there any particular challenges that you face?
Yes, a big challenge with Drizzt is that we wanted to also include Gwen, his sidekick, you know, and so it takes really a real thinking because, you know, a statue also has some technical constraints. So you had to think about a way of making both characters work together to have everything looking harmonious in the end, and while still being, you know, inside the tracks of production that's gonna come. So yeah, it takes some thinking. So that was the main challenge, having both characters working well together while, you know, Drizzt has both of his swords. So it takes some room. And so you also had to think about that for deciding about Gwen's position around the base and all. And also just for just like Jace, I wanted to create an interesting base that would be evocative of Drizzt's iconic environment again. So we had this really nice, snowy part of a landscape with, stones and icicles, things like that. That would be at first sight, okay, is Drizzt in his environment? So it was, that's all the challenges we had to face.
Oh, and I'm so glad you overcame them.
I did my best at least.
Okay, so the golden question.
Mm-hmm.
Which statue do you like more? The Jace one or the Drizzt one?
Well, as you can see, I'm just as passionate about both. So it's really hard to choose, So they are both a little my babies. So it's really hard to choose.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to choose for me too, because
yeah, it is.
they're both so iconic in their own ways, and they're just so different. But
yeah,
when you see each statue, they just evoke a different kind of emotion.
Yeah, and they are really different characters.
Exactly. Yeah, and so I do have, like, on a more personal note,
yes?
I do have a question for you, because you have done such great work, in the Magic the Gathering scene, and even outside of Magic the Gathering. I mean, the recent Lord of the Rings set,
yes,
the art. I was listening to your panel discussion. It's mind blowing, and I just want to ask you, as you're growing up, as across your different careers, like, what made you to be the person, the artist you are today? To be, I mean, for lack of better words, to be so amazing.
Well, first of all, it's all a matter of inspiration. I was not drawing at all until I was 12. And all of a sudden, I'm going to tell you a little secret, is that it's not quite a secret, because, that's a story I like to tell, actually. But when I was 12, the Beauty and the Beast Disney movie was released in theaters. And, in the very first second, I'm not lying, I'm not exaggerating, in the very first seconds when the movie started, I was like, something clicked in my mind. And it was not about the princess, it was not about all that. I was all about the beast. I was so impressed. I mean, it was a whole new world that opened to me. And when I came back home, I immediately started drawing. And there is a story in my family that says that the drawing was good all of a sudden. So, I don't believe in the principle of a gift. I really think that, maybe I had some affinity with drawing. And then after that, I started working like crazy. So I never could afford taking any art lesson. I never could afford going to any art school. So I really learned everything by myself. So it took some time, but I was so passionate. It was my life. So I gave everything to drawing, in the hope that maybe one day I would have the opportunity to work with such fabulous IPs. But you know how it is. You can dream, but sometimes the dream seems to be really far away. And when it started happening, it was like incredible. And even today, I've been an illustrator for 17 years now, and 10 years for Magic. And even today, I still cannot believe it's happening. So, when I see that, it's like a dream come true.
Wow. I mean, that is such an inspiration, and I think you're not just an inspiration to us at Gatherers Tavern, but truly an inspiration to any aspiring illustrators and any inspiring artists out there. That the journey is really not easy sometimes.
Yeah, but it's worth it. And it also proves that just anyone can make it if they really love something, if they really want to try. I mean, if you are willing to be given everything you have and to work hard, you can achieve anything.
Yeah. Word, #word. Yeah, and I'm so happy that, like, you are sharing this together with us. I think it's a story that, all of us, we should know, and we can also learn a lot of things from that. And yeah, I mean, I'm so thankful that, we asked.
Thank you for listening to my story,
Thank you for letting me hear your story. Yeah, and I mean, we are also honored, to be able to work together with you. Magali is such an awesome artist. I mean, you're so nice to work with. You really helped us in every single step of the way in the art direction, to be able to produce such an amazing product. This wouldn't have happened without you. So thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for taking time for this interview as well.
Yeah, all pleasure is mine, really.
I know it's been a very tiring day for you as well, because I see lines and lines of,
Yeah.
of people queuing up to get your
Yay.
autograph.
Yes,
I mean,
that's
I'm
true.
so happy for you. And I hope tomorrow will be the same as well.
Hope so.
And that you can at least catch a little bit of a break, a holiday next week, maybe.
No, it's not happening. You know, as soon as I'm finished in Barcelona, I have to go back home and produce some more magic cards. So yeah.
She's never gonna stop working
No,
for you guys.
I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop.
All right. Thank you so much, Magali.
Thank you, Rebel.
We'll see you soon.
See you.